Good afternoon, everyone. So, we'll continue with chapter 9 of history. Okay, so this is the topic. Okay, so we were discussing about Gulamgiri. We once talked about Gulamgiri. Gulamgiri is a book by Jyotiba Phule. Sorry, Jyotirao Phule. Now, Jyotirao Phule was born in 1827 in Satara, Maharashtra. Okay. And he set out the to the Brahmins claim Aryans. Now, Jyotirao Phule, born in 1827 in Satara, Maharashtra. He set out to attack the Brahmins' claim that they were superior to others since they were Aryans. Okay, now as you know, the Brahmins were dominating the other groups, right? So, as per the Brahmins, they were the superior to all the other groups, right? So, the Jyotirao Phule actually claimed that superior of claimed that the Brahmins were not superior. Why they were not superior? Because they were Aryans. So what was the problem with Aryans? Now why he considered the Brahmins as Aryans? So basically, if you see, Aryans, as per the Jyotirao Phule, the Brahmins were Aryans, and Aryans were not the local population of India. Aryans actually, as per the Jyotirao Phule, the Aryans came from the mountains, they came from other land, and after that they conquered the land. Understood? They conquered the places, the upper caste, whoever is there in the upper caste. So they are Aryans. They came from other land. They actually defeated the population, the local population, and after that they captured the land. Understood? They captured that area. So they were basically not the local people. Understood? As per the Jyotirao Phule. Uh, and they actually defeated the population and inferior low caste people. They saw the low caste people as inferior. Understood? So basically, as per the Jyotirao Phule, the Brahmins were not the actual people from India. They came from the mountain, they came from the other land, and they conquered the land. They defeated the population, and they considered the local people as the inferior. Understood? Now, what Phule claimed? Okay, so Phule claimed that the upper caste that the upper caste had no rights to their land and power in reality. The land belonged to the land belonged to indigenous people, the so-called low caste. Okay, so what Phule claimed? Phule claimed that these upper caste people had no rights to their land and power in reality, because as per Phule, these upper caste people are not the indigenous people. That means they do not belong to India. They actually came from outside, and they conquered the land of the people. So basically the land is of the low caste people. The people who are called low caste, actually the land and power belong to that low caste people. These upper caste people came from outside, and they captured the land, and they actually took the power from this low caste people. This was the claim of Phule. So Phule claimed that the upper caste had no rights to their land and power in reality. The land belonged to the indigenous people, the so-called low caste. Understood? As per the Jyotirao Phule, the age before this Aryan rule, that means the age when the low caste people were actually in power and actually they were having land, that time actually was the golden age. The people that time were living with peace and harmony. These low caste people were actually living with peace and harmony on their land. They were growing crops and they were eating, and they were living a peaceful life. These Aryan came, they they captured the land and all, and they actually created this problem, this caste system. Okay, they made these people, considered these people as low caste and themselves as upper caste, and like they dominated those people. Understood? So this was the claim of Jyotirao Phule. Okay, so before these Aryans, there was a golden age. Everyone was living peacefully, as per Jyotirao Phule. Understood? Now, what he proposed these Shudras and Ati Shudras who were untouchables, who were considered as untouchables. So, he proposed to unite all these people. Okay, he told them to unite and raise their voice against this discrimination. Understood? Now, this Phule actually founded an association. Okay, Jyotirao Phule founded an association to propagate caste system, caste equality. Okay, propagate is advertise. Okay, so Jyotirao Phule actually founded an association to propagate the caste equality. That means everyone should be equally treated. For that, he founded an association, and that association was named as the Satyasodhak Samaj. Okay, the Satyasodhak Samaj. So Satyasodhak Samaj was founded by Jyoti Rao Phule. It was an association and it was founded by him so that he can propagate the caste equality, okay, among the people. Now Gulamgiri, we discussed about Gulamgiri. So Gulamgiri is also Gulamgiri is a book which was written by Jyoti Rao Phule in 1873. So in 1873, Jyotirao Phule written a book, Gulamgiri, and he dedicated this book to all those Americans who had fought to free slaves in American Civil War. So, Jyotirao Phule's Gulamgiri was written in 1873, and this book is basically dedicated to the Americans, to those Americans who actually fought to free the slaves in American Civil War. Understood? So, lower caste in India and the slaves which were there in the America, black slaves which were there in the America, their condition was actually the same. Understood? Now, with the caste inequality, Jyotirao Phule actually criticized other form of inequality also. Okay, with the caste inequality, he criticized other form of equality. Now, what other form of equality, other form of inequality was criticized by him? So in this, if you see, the other form of inequality which he criticized were plight of upper caste women, the miseries of laborers, the humiliation of the low caste. Okay, so with the inequality of caste system, he also criticized the plight of upper caste women, the miseries of labor, the condition of labor, the pathetic condition of labor, also the humiliation of low caste. So these all forms of inequality was criticized by Jyotirao Phule. Understood? So basically, if you see Jyotirao Phule, what he claimed, that is very important part. Okay, that you have to always keep in mind. So he claimed that these upper caste people are actually not indigenous, they are outsider, and they came here, they captured the land of indigenous people who are considered as low caste. Okay, so these low caste people are the actual owner of the land and power of the India, but these upper caste people who are Aryans, and they came from other land, and they actually captured the land of the low caste people and made them, considered them as inferior and low caste. Okay, so actually these people are not indigenous. So this thing you have to keep in mind. Understood? So is there any question till now? Anyone? Anyone, any question till now? Any question, anyone? Okay, no questions. Okay, we'll go ahead. Now next topic is who could enter temple? Now what happened, as we know that the Shudras, the lower caste people, the untouchables, they were actually not allowed to go into the temple, right? So this was the situation. So Ambedkar, B.R. Ambedkar started a temple entry movement in 1927. Now, Brahman priests, they were outranked when the Dalits used water from the temple tank. So what happened, as you know, these people, these low caste people, untouchables, were actually not allowed to take water from the hand pump which upper caste people are using, or the when they are using the well. So from that well also these lower caste people cannot take water. They were not allowed. But what happened, there were Dalits who used water from the temple tank. Okay, so from there this situation began, and Brahman priests were outranked because of that. And after that, Ambedkar from 1927 to 1935, in between this period 1927 to 1935, Ambedkar led three such movements, in which, what was the movement? The movement was temple entry movement. As it was not allowed for the lower caste people to go into the temple, so this movement was started by B.R. Ambedkar. Now why this was actually started? The question is why. Okay, why B.R. Ambedkar wanted this kind of movement? Okay, so his aim was to make everyone see so he actually wanted to make everyone see that the power of caste prejudice within society. What was the conception behind this? These untouchables, why they were not allowed to enter into the temple? Because the people were thinking, what was the prejudice in the society? The prejudice was that if these untouchables, they are doing dirty work, that is why they are untouchables, right? They are working with the dead animals, they are working with the dead people, that is why they are considered untouchables. They are doing dirty thing. This was the perception of the society. So if they are doing this dirty thing and they will go into the temple, they will touch the god, they will enter into the temple, which is a very holy place, right, which is sacred place. When they will these untouchables will go into that kind of place, there will be some kind of disaster which will take place. That kind of perception, prejudice was there in the society. Understood? So what Ambedkar wanted? Ambedkar wanted to understand these people that nothing is going to happen if these people will go into the temple. This is what he wanted. He wanted to break this prejudice which was there in the society. Understood? So for that, he started this movement, not to hurt anyone's sentiments. It was not to hurt anyone's sentiments, but to break a prejudice which was there in the society. Ambedkar started this movement. He wanted to show the people that if these people who are considered untouchables, if they will go into the temple, they will worship the god, they will touch the god, no disaster is going to happen. Because God is not created with untouchables, upper class, low class, high class. The God has not created this. For him, everyone is equal. Okay, so if this low caste, the so-called low caste people, if they will go into the temple, they will touch the god, no disaster is going to come. That is what Ambedkar wanted to prove. Understood? And for that, he led this kind of movements. Understood? Temple entry movement. So, three such movements were done from 1927 to 1935. Understood? Any question till now, anyone? Any question, anyone, till now? No questions. Okay, so we'll move ahead. Now, when we go to B.R. Ambedkar's story, so he was from Mahar caste, and this Mahar caste was actually considered as untouchable caste. Understood? So he also belonged to a caste which was considered as untouchable. Understood? Okay. So what was his experience? That we are going to understand. Okay. So B.R. Ambedkar, he born in a Mahar family. Mahar was a caste and it was considered untouchable. Okay. Now, so he also experienced caste prejudice. Sorry. Caste prejudice and discrimination because of he born in the Mahar caste. Because of that, he also gone through the caste prejudice and discrimination. Now he was forced to sit outside the classroom. He was not allowed to drink water from tap. Now, when he used to go to school, he was not allowed to sit in the classroom. If this is the classroom, here board, you have board and all. Okay, so this is the gate. So he used to sit here on the gate and took the education. He was not allowed to enter the classroom and sit with other classmates and take the education. Understood? So that kind of discrimination was there. He used to sit outside of the classroom and he used to learn. Now the thing is, in schools the taps were there, so he was not allowed to drink water from that tap. Okay, so he was not allowed to drink water from that tap. In spite of all this thing, he got a fellowship. He got a fellowship and he went US for higher education. For higher education. And again he came back to India in 1919. Understood? So he has seen that kind of discrimination in his life. There was one story related to this discrimination in class 6, I think 6 or 7. You would have read that story. Once Ambedkar and his brother they were going somewhere, and on the railway station the railway master, the station master was there, and he because of some issue he left his brother or something, so he took B.R. Ambedkar into the with him, and he asked for with the appearance, the station master thought that the boy belongs to upper caste. He was not knowing that he belongs to Mahar caste. Now, after that, he ordered for biscuit and everything for him. But as he came to know that he belonged to Mahar caste, the station master, his face was fed up. And after that, what happened? When they came out of the station, after that he met his brother, and after that when he came out of the station, there was a cart, bullock cart. Earlier the bullock cart was there, so bullock cart was there, and when he told that he want to go to his home, that bullock cart, after knowing that he belonged to Mahar family, was not ready to take them to their home. So these two boys, the B.R. Ambedkar and his brother, walked by foot and reached their home. So that kind of discrimination was there. That bullock cart, the person who was riding that bullock cart, he thought that if I will allow these Mahar caste boys to sit, my cart will become dirty, impure, and the other people will not come and sit on this. So like this, I will not get the people, right? And I will not get the money. The other people will not come and sit on my bullock cart. So like this kind of prejudice and discrimination was there in the society. Understood? And B.R. Ambedkar has gone through all this kind of discrimination which was there in the society. So he was knowing each and everything properly, because he has gone through all these things, right? So he was forced to sit outside the classroom, and he was not allowed to drink water from the taps. Despite of this, he was keen to learn. He wanted himself to be educated. So he was studying hard, and he got a fellowship, and he went to US for the higher education and came back India in 1919. And also he wrote about the upper caste power in contemporary society after coming back to India. Is there any question till now, anyone? Any question? Anyone? Rest of the topic will continue tomorrow. Okay. Okay, thank you everyone for today.